Good evening, students. The next topic it is Aurangzeb. We were doing chapter number 9 and till Jahangir and Shah Jahan, art and architecture we have done. So we will start with the Aurangzeb. As described earlier, in the wake of the war of succession among four sons of Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb emerged victorious. And Aurangzeb ascended the throne in CE 1658 and he took the title of Alamgir. So you can underline this Alamgir. So the political history of the Mughal under Aurangzeb can be divided into two stages, that is between 1658 and 1681. Aurangzeb remained in the northern India, and during the last 25 years of his rule, that is from 1681 to 1707, he remained busy in the Deccan, conquering Deccan states and checking the growing powers of the Marathas. So next it is a revolt during Aurangzeb reign. Aurangzeb had to face troubles and revolts throughout his life. Aurangzeb followed very strict administrative policies. He revised taxes on non-Muslims and increased the land taxes from one third to one half. Underline, no mercy was shown to farmers, even though if there were floods or droughts. All this led to revolt by Jats, Bundels, and Satanamis. The Sikhs, the Rajputs, and the Marathas revolted against them, and the period witnessed the disintegration of the Mughal Empire. Aurangzeb was a devotee Sunni Muslim who led a very simple life. He would copy the Quran and sew the caps to earn his living. He was called Jinda Peer, underline, as he was an Orthodox Muslim. He banned wine, music, and various festivals also. So Aurangzeb's relations with the Sikhs, the ninth Sikh Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur, criticized the religious policies of the Aurangzeb. He was arrested and brought to Delhi where he was martyred in Chandni Chowk. Means he was killed over there. The relation between the Sikhs and the Muslims were already stained because of Guru Arjan Dev execution at the hands of the Jahangir for helping his rebel son. From then onward, the Sikhs has become the enemies of the Mughals. Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru and the son of Guru Tegh Bahadur, continued the policy of his father, and they organized Khalsa. Open wars started between the Sikhs and the Mughals. Aurangzeb and his successors has to face continuous troubles from the Sikhs. After Aurangzeb's death, his successors failed to check the rising powers of the Sikhs. Then wars with the Rajputs. The Rajputs were not well treated by Aurangzeb. Raja Jai Singh and Raja Jaswant Singh were kept away from the court at Delhi. Raja Jai Singh was a loyal general, but he was suspected and insulted after the escape of Shivaji. When Raja Jaswant Singh died in CE 1678, his minor son Ajit Singh was detained at Delhi, and his state Marwar was annexed to the Mughal Empire. Durga Das Rathore, a brave Rajput, and then the Rajputs of Marwar, Mewar, and some other states joined hands to fight against Aurangzeb. The war continued for many years, and in 1681, the Rana of Mewar signed a treaty with Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb then diverted his attention to Deccan. However, the Rajput of Marwar continued their struggle, and the Mughals recognized Ajit Singh as the independent ruler of Marwar after Aurangzeb's death. Now, what kind of a relation was there with the Marathas? So, conflict started between the Mughals and the Marathas over the conquest of Bijapur. Shivaji increased power, posted a threat to the Mughals. Aurangzeb was determined to defeat Shivaji. Shivaji attacked the territories occupied by the Mughals, and he also captured many forts. Aurangzeb sent Satisha Khan, one of the most loyal general, to check Shivaji's growing powers, but this attempt was failed. Shivaji captured Surat and took a lot of wealth which he had won from the Mughals. Raja Jai Singh was sent to suppress Shivaji. Shivaji failed to win over the Raja and was forced to sign a treaty of Purdhar in 1665. There is one fill up also. According to the term of the treaty, he surrendered a large amount of forts to Mughals, and Jai Singh invited Shivaji to visit the Mughal court at Agra with a view to end the Mughal Maratha rivalries. But the visit to Agra proved to be a disaster. Shivaji was insulted and arrested, but he escaped. Then Aurangzeb Deccan campaign. Aurangzeb spent the last 25 years of his life fighting in the Deccan, and the object of his Deccan wars was to conquer Bijapur and Golconda, and also to crush the Marathas' power. Bijapur was annexed to the Mughal Empire in 1686. Sorry, the fall of Bijapur was followed by the invasion of Golconda. After a period of continuous warfare, Golconda was seized and annexed to the Mughal Empire. Then Aurangzeb failed to crush the Marathas, and after a long struggle, died at Aurangabad in 1707. Then the last Mughal rulers, there was no law of succession among the Mughals. Thus, every time a king died, there ensues a war for succession among the possible contestants. After the death of Aurangzeb, a war of succession continued for some time, and finally, Muzammad emerged victorious and ascended the throne with the title Bahadur Shah I. After his death, Jahandar Shah became the ruler, who was overthrown by his nephew, only to be supported ruler under the control of Sayyid brothers. Sayyid brothers now played the role of kingmakers. So they enthroned Muhammad Shah as emperor in 1720. So what exactly what it is that the later Mughals, those who came as a king after Aurangzeb's death, they were not competent rulers. They were weak, and they were not so efficient in order to hold the policies. So what there are certain causes for the downfall of the Mughal Empire. So there are some causes. The causes as follows, like